Welcome back to the Lazy A-Hole Ranch, everyone. I am so glad to have you with us this week as we begin framing in our end caps. When you normally frame a wall, you would frame the wall on the ground and then bring that wall up. But because of the curved walls, we're gonna have to frame that structure in place. First thing we're starting with today is the bottom sill plate. I'm learning all about framing today, kids. You are too. So we are currently taking measurements for the end caps. So Mike is gonna mark center.
It's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same, yay! That means we did something okay. I am crazy bundled up right now. I've got on winter gloves. I have 2 coats on. The insulated overalls. I am ready for winter. We put the door in the center of the house on the front. We're doing French doors. So we've got that part figured out. We had to measure the distance end to end over here to know what that maximum width is across so we can plan out what size windows to put in that space.
Well, anyway, we'll call it just 16 feet and 5.5.
Mike was saying that the bottom sill plate would be interrupted by the door, and that was going to be one of my questions that I have for you. Is I was just curious, how that works with the floor, because you have the sill plate for the window, but what do you have for the floor to?
Well, usually if you frame it laying down, you'll typically just leave that whole sill plate intact, and then when you stand the thing up and after it's all secured, you come back in with a saw and cut out the space where the door is.
Okay.
Because it just goes to the floor.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'd have to have some monstrous threshold transition things to keep toes from getting busted.
Yeah.
Really thick flooring.
We are going to check our wood inventory and see what we have, what we need. So I guess we're framing 2 by 6s.
Yeah, these are 10-footers.
Okay.
Yeah, at a glance, I think we're in good shape on material.
Framing 2 by 4 versus 2 by 6. Does that mean instead of using 2 by 4s, you're just using 2 by 6s to frame your walls? So it's thicker, it's a thicker wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and in this case, it's not a structural advantage, it's just for the insulation.
So we can put more insulation in that space and make it higher R value.
Yep.
So as we're putting this all into position, we're gonna start at the center and work our way out. So Mike is measuring out the edges of where the door frame is.
I'll write door on just in case we forget what's going on there.
So we did 12 inches from the outside of the door frame to the inside of the window frame. We're gonna measure 4 feet from this inside line to the next inside line. This line here is the inside of our window. So we have to mark studs for the doors and the windows on here. We've got our bottom sill plate in and we've got everything measured out. We're running out of daylight, so we're gonna have to continue this later.
thinking on this, since we have two boards that have to go together, one of them will be screwed into the tube, the steel tubing. Use a Forstner bit to poke a hole where the screw heads will be, so that way they sit flush. And if we go just kind of to the top of this, then that'll give us plenty of room.
So I'm looking for a 2x6, thank you. That is 16 feet 6 inches. I'm going to check our reclaim pile to see if we have one that is full length, because that would be amazing. Mike thinks they're about 12 feet. I am optimistic and think they are longer than 12 feet.
A little over 20.
A little over 20, perfect. Two of those, and that should take care of the top plate that will attach to the beam with self-tapping screws. Part of the fun with working with reclaimed lumber is it's all twisted and fun. So we are gonna start at this end of the cabin and work our way across so we can straighten out that piece of wood a bit. Hi guys, the last time you were with us, it was over a month ago. A lot has happened since then next door, but not so much over here. In the spirit of the new year and a fresh new start, we are down here today to work on getting a cut list together so that we can cut up these boards on nice days, and then when it's time, we can come down here and just nail these to the sill plate. One of the things I didn't get to point out is that we're using all reclaimed lumber for the front of this, so this is going to cost us nothing. Now this cut list is going to vary based on how you choose to finish your arched cabin. We're doing French doors with 2 4-foot windows on either side. That should help give you an idea of where we're going with this. I've cut all the cripples already. We just need to measure the trim boards and the king studs. Wow, I know terms and they're coming out of my mouth and I understand what I'm saying. This is a moment.
It's inevitable.
This is awesome. It's very empowering, let me tell you. The reason why these are crossed out is we realized that with the French doors, we had to double up the trim boards. So I went in and just added the boards where I needed to and moved them, did the thing. That's weird.
Oh, did we move the king stud for that one?
Yes, you had me do trim, king, and then we moved this. No, I think these stayed the same. You told me to keep these the same, I think. You said just to add the extra trim board here. Yeah?
I believe so.
And then leave these as they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure when we actually nail stuff in. But
We need king one. Okay, so we need 3 king studs. And then 4 trim boards for each side.
the only thing we have to actually measure for is the king studs, because they go bottom to top. They run the full height.
We just need to take one measurement then.
Yeah, essentially.
Really?
And then the rest of it will be all calculation.
Okay, let's do that.
So we can't measure or calculate this stud yet, because there'll be another 2x6 that we'll have to cut slots in so it'll bend to this rib,
Okay.
because it'll intersect somewhere in here.
Well, and if not, we have to trim a little, right?
Yeah.
Always err on the side of a little longer.
So that's 7 feet 8 7/16 inches.
So far the measurements are consistently 7 feet 8 and 7/16.
Yeah. And if we have to shim a little here and there, I'm not going to be angry about that.
Okay. Now that we have that one critical measurement, we can go and calculate what we need.
So next up, we'll be cutting all of the lumber, and then we just need to frame these up. Until then, I thank you again for all of your love and support, and we'll see you very, very soon. I love you guys, and have a great rest of your day. Bye! Clover Custom Crafts at the Evergreen Station is your one-stop shop for handmade items made right here in Colorado. With a huge selection of spinners, locally collected mineral specimens, jewelry, and so much more, you can find that perfect gift for anyone on your list. Step inside this adorable shop that's tucked into the Evergreen Station, 6 miles south of State Highway 24 on County Road 1, and find a whole host of treasures ready to come home with you today, or speak with the friendly staff about something custom for your home. You never know what precious handmade item you'll find at Clover Custom Crafts. You can shop Clover Custom Crafts in person or shop online now at clovercustomcrafts.com. Shop Clover Custom Crafts and shop local small businesses.